All right, guys, it's Scott the Cutlass, and it's Friday, and everybody's talking about this Tyson fight. I'm rooting for Tyson, by the way. I do love boxing. Grew up watching it a lot. My dad was a big fan, so I do actually really enjoy boxing, and but I'm not so caught up enough to catch it tonight. The typical place we go out to dinner is a bar and grill. The place is packed. We wanted to stay home, have a chill night. And I figure, you know what, there's a couple things I need to do out here. I'm going to be at the machine shop tomorrow, but we'll show you what we got going on. So the Oldsmobile is officially in winter storage mode. It's on jack stand so we don't flat spot our tires. I got it as far up as I would like it. I got it as over as I can get it. And you can see we got big space if we got engines to bring in. And if we got parts to bring in, we got room behind and under the car to store stuff. So usually it's kind of what we do in the winter here. I am enjoying a beer. It is Friday night after all. And you guys know in the last video, we tore this thing apart. Well, a couple things happened. I hit up Mark Rummel, which some of you guys may know in the Oldsmobile world. He does sell cylinder heads, all kinds of parts and stuff. And apparently these small block Olds rods from Scat are supposed to be discontinued, but I bought them. I bought a full set of rods. Of course, why would you only buy half? But to replace these stock rods, and they are actually fairly light, and they're going to definitely hold up to the power that we're going to be making and be much more reliable for the RPM. So the end goal will be is that we're going to build a stout short block that we're going to put our top end on, and just the goal would be at that point is to put this thing in the tens, and we're going to go solid roller lifter, solid roller cam with, solid roller lifters on this thing. I intend on bumping up the compression to 11-to-1 and running it on E85. Again, we're going to essentially, the best part about this is there is some good block work here. And then there's oil modifications that have been done there. You can see the cap has been polished. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last video. There's restrictors. It does have a really good solid flat tappet camshaft. But you know what? I want to go roller. It's time to build something kind of beefy. And I'm on the hunt for a 330 crank because they're factory forged. And it's going to be a little bit better than the nodular crank. The nodular crank should hold up to what we got, but I don't have anything in here that I'm willing to sacrifice, which brings me to my next point. I'm out here tonight to take some of this apart. Now, this is a 1970 350 two-barrel engine that came out of a running car. And my friend Dr. Dan is looking for a runner, so we're going to take the valve covers off, see if it's clean under there, if it's up to his standards. This might be one worth to send out to Georgia, whereabouts where he's at when my buddy JJ goes out that way. So I hope that was cool to fucking mention. But if you guys haven't followed him, go follow him over at Twin J Racing on YouTube as well. He actually, one of his buddies got me in contact with somebody to pick up a 330. So we do have a line on a 330, a whole engine. I mainly want the crank. Hopefully it's good. These are the kind of things I'm after. I'm after complete engines that have been untouched. And this one appears to be untouched. It looks like it's got its factory paint still on the block. It's not very grimy. It's not very greasy. And that's why I didn't want to scavenge the crank out of this thing for it, because this is way too good of an engine to sacrifice. Somebody could make good use of this, and if somebody can use it, then it's going to a good home to a friend that I know. He's going to help a friend out, and I think we're probably going to end up doing some form of a trade or something. But either way, point being is that this is an untouched engine. It still has its factory choke. The heat risers and all that stuff going on. I mean, this is what you want to pick up if you're building a core. This is what you're after. You don't want something that somebody's already been into because you don't know what you're getting into. And so A little bit of an update on the 427. We are done with the block work. We're going to move on to rods, sizing, getting pistons installed. I'm going to go with a hydraulic roller cam, and the end goal is it is going to go in this car. We are going to put the 427 Chevy in the Pontiac, and that is going to be a really fun driver. And if it's peppy enough, I might just race this next year, park this to cage it, and really set the car up and build a 362 and do something cool, because you know what? Anything good that ever came out of this car is because I let it sit for a year and I did things right. Like, the engine took me a while to build. This engine configuration took me a couple of years to build because I really couldn't afford it. Even though this is a budget build, what it cost me to get the machining alone on this engine cost me like $2,000 back in 2014. That's expensive, but I used a very good machine shop. And after I measured everything was mint. So, and if it wasn't for my buddy Dave at Freak Cylinder Head Porting Services and us trading, I could never afford the port or have somebody port these heads. You know, we traded labor, and you know, we've been beating on this thing. It's gone 1140s. You could call it a low 11-second mill. That's nothing. It's on pump gas, iron heads, and I want to make it shine. So, my goals are to scratch 1090s with this. And I'm going to need a cage for that. So, you know, we might put the car down for a year to get it off the frame and weld up the frame and set up pedestals and do things kind of how I want to do for this car for the next phase. And it's not going to be very expensive. It's just going to be very labor intensive. That's why maybe setting this car up to go bracket racing next year, index racing, would be maybe the way to go. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do something. You know, every year we get busier. We race more. We do more stuff. But it's going on. You know, so you know, I'm learning a lot at the machine shop. I'm kind of apprenticing there, and we're working with old school machinery where you actually have to measure stuff. It's actual work. It's not like you go boop, boop, bleep, blop, and you set it up and you run it. No, we're actually learning, you know, what we want to do, especially with the honing machine, doing it the old school way, finding the tight spots and get everything square. It's an art. And man, I appreciate so much the process of it all, because it is work, but it is amazing. You know, it's not as simple as most would think, and I appreciate that process so much more after being actually taken under somebody's wing and being showed what it takes to machine an engine. And we haven't even gotten past the block yet. We just got the block done. And the block took us a bit of time because he purposely kind of set me up with a challenge so that I would learn, and I've learned a lot. So anyway, guys, when the time comes, maybe I'll be able to make videos working in there, but for now, you're just going to have to take my word for it. But once that big block 427 gets built, it's going to get fired up at his place, and it's going to be badass. We got a quadrijet on the line that I know is good, and we are just going to, I don't know, man. It's going to be cool. I'm excited. So stay tuned, stick around. We still got a little bit of disassembly to do so I can send the block out to be Magnaflux, cleaned, checked, and everything. You know, we're going to do that. But for now, I got to dig into that engine. Maybe we'll make a little video. I don't intend to move it from where it's at. I'm going to kind of do it there, but I might make a little video on that. So guys, share, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Stick around. We got a lot of cool stuff going on this winter. And, you know, thank you to the guys that have followed. I'm not out there to get a million followers, but thank you to the guys who comment, follow, share, like, subscribe. Find a cool video. We got plenty of racing stuff. And, you know, in the summer, you're going to see us racing a lot. And then keep in mind, we're doing Sick Week this summer with my buddy's Mustang. So you guys are going to want to definitely stick around for that. So I'll let you go.